Kamala Harris, Gavin the Snake Newsom, Hillary Clinton, Pete Buttigieg, Gretchen Whitmer. What do you guys have? At least the other side, mind you, I'm not a Republican, but I am voting for Donald Trump. Is at least Vivek Ramaswamy. They have people that are energetic, that love this country.
That's true, though. We do got some good new blood on our side, though. And really, the best one we got is Vivek, though. I ain't even gonna lie. My man Vivek,
he's young. He's not a warmonger, like
fellow Ohioan,
entrepreneur. He knows the business side of
pharmaceuticals
politics.
And pharmaceuticals
for sure.
We need that type of knowledge.
Yeah, I think he'd be a great candidate.
Country, the other side is ridiculous, man.
He's not
like,
having
what are we
folks
talking
sign
about?
bombs like
unbelievable, guys. I was in New York, Piers. I was in New York with Patrick Bet-David. We were there on little vacation, and you think New York, you know. A lot of Democrats. You should see the amount of Donald Trump hats that I saw. And even after the assassination attempt, after the freaking coup attempt,
I'm
should have
Vinny, I'm in New York, and I've seen it. And not only seen it, I've been amazed, anecdotally, how many people.
Piers goes between, you know, the UK, London, New York. Yeah. Oh, God,
people are telling me they're going to vote Trump. Way more than I can ever remember in New York. So, Jane, I'm not sure you're right about this. I felt in 2016 that many people were missing the Trump train. I'd been down in Middle America and I could feel it roaring away, and I could feel intense dislike for Hillary Clinton. And I got to say, I'm feeling it exactly the same again now. And it's been, I think, a result of several things. The debate debacle, where Trump managed to conduct himself by Trump standards in a very smart way. He was pretty measured most of the time. He allowed Biden to effectively hang himself on live TV. Then the response to the assassination.
Yeah, it was funny because Trump didn't need to say too much during that debate, and he still would have won.
That was the most legendary debate ever for Trump.
Like, it was like a free win just by him showing up, low-key.
Oh, God, bro. It's like, oh, man, bro. If you ever been, like, wrestling or fighting before, for a match, you get, like, a bye.
Bruh.
And it's like, oh, yeah, you ain't got to fight yet, but you got the dub, though. It's like,
bro, but you're getting that dub on your record, bro. Congrats for doing nothing.
Oh, God.
Oh, shit!
Now, I think he's coming out with all guns blazing, pardon the analogy, given what happened to him, but literally using what happened to him to fuel a sense that he's the strong guy in the room. That the Democrats have never looked weaker. They've now had their leader had to stand down, and they've got a completely in Kamala Harris, if it is her, someone who, if they're just going to be a like for like comparison, many Americans will go, you know what, Trump seems a stronger bet here. And that's the problem for the Democrats. Is how do you get away from the fact that
when they clearly don't have a game plan, they're scrambling. They're trying to come up with something.
Why would I vote for the Democrats? And I know what they're gonna do. They're just gonna continue giving out to Israel and Ukraine. They're gonna continue trying to warmonger. They're gonna continue to push LGBTQ over the rest of the people. They're gonna continue to put a 1% or a small group of people over the majority. For what? Not for us.
But they clearly don't have an established plan with them having to switch candidates this late into the election cycle. It's just, like I said, it's dysfunctional. It looks dysfunctional. Why would I even vote that side?
Well, and you know what's so crazy? You can't be surprised because, look, bro, their election shit's all dysfunctional, bro. Their policies were dysfunctional. That's one thing we just got to always hold them accountable for. Them dysfunctional-ass policies.
When he was shot, Trump did this in an act of defiance, and a lot of Americans went, wow, that was ballsy. Even Mark Zuckerberg called it badass.
Because it was.
Yeah, Piers, I called it badass. And in 2016, right around this time, I said Trump would win. So what I have is apparently an ability to read numbers that is just missing in Washington, D.C. So Joe Biden's numbers were pathetically low. They were in the 30s. He barely even got into the low 40s ever. But Donald Trump's numbers are terrible as well. They're usually hovering around the high 30s, low 40s. These are terrible numbers. You guys can use all the anecdotes you like. And Vinny, brother, I got respect for you too, even though you say crazy conspiracy theories. I get it. We're both populists. We want the right thing for the American people. But you're in a bubble, brother. Just because you love Trump and everyone you know loves Trump doesn't mean the country does. 55% of the country.
I like Trump, but I guess I'm in that bubble too. Like, the majority of Ohio or the southern states like Trump, like, are they in a bubble too? That's a big ass bubble we got.
You can find Trump fans across America, bro.
There was over maybe 40 million people. Over 40 million people voted for the man. That's a big ass bubble, G.
Country hates Trump. We just have to put a non-establishment candidate up, and we'd win easily. But of course, again, Democrats panic and go, "Whoever's the leader, I'm going to support." Okay, just hold on. If we picked someone who won in Kentucky, for example, we'd win in a crushing landslide. The country doesn't want to vote for Trump. It's in the numbers. Get out of your bubble.
Beat a Republican.
But check it, just really fast, Piers.
Hang on. Benny, I'll come to you. I want to play a clip before I come back to you. This is a clip where Trump was at his rally in Michigan on Saturday, and he came up with this phrase about people attack him for wanting to attack democracy, and that he himself has now taken a bullet for democracy. Because I thought that was a really powerful moment for Trump in this whole race. Let's take a look.
They keep saying he's a threat to democracy. I'm saying, what the hell did I do for democracy? Last week, I took a bullet for democracy.
Man. Yeah, he said that. Democracy? He said that. Yeah, bro said that. He bad man for that one. I ain't even gonna lie. Like,
this phrase about people attack him for wanting to attack democracy, and that he himself has now taken a bullet for democracy. Because I thought that was a really powerful moment for Trump in this whole race.
Let's take a look. No props.
They keep saying he's a threat to democracy.
In Michigan.
I'm saying, what the hell?
He said this in Michigan, though. He killed it in Michigan. And what was bro just saying?
What did I do for democracy?
Got the Trump dance out
Last
there
week,
already.
I took a bullet for democracy. What did I do against democracy?
Surrender with the mugshot.
I mean, Vinny, there are a few more powerful things for a presidential candidate to say than "I took a bullet for democracy."
Oh, but he did.
Like, I mean, Chank. Let's and Chank. With all due respect, I mean, all this in love with Trump. It's beyond Trump, brother. It's what his message is what he stands for. Chank, since the 90s, brother, late 80s, he loves America. He puts America first. This guy, people like you that hate Trump, you never hated Trump. You were taught. You were brainwashed to hate Donald Trump. That Trump derangement syndrome is real. All this, you're in love with Trump. I'm the same as Piers. I never liked Trump. When he was on The Apprentice, you're fired. It was annoying. But the message and seeing what they've been trying to do to him and what they're actively trying to do is ridiculous. And just from Piers, from everything that they've done, destroying his name, the court, the money, the fake impeachments, everything, to trying to kill him. What else is left? And he's still up there. He's campaigning. He's making jokes. And by the way, and I love this word, this democracy. I'm sick and tired of this democracy, okay? When you're in school, Piers, in the United States, you pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. We're a republic. We're not a democracy. And every time the Democrats try to put somebody up, Bernie Sanders, RFK, you guys eat your own. So it's you guys. You guys are ruining everything. And Cenk, I'm going to say it again. You should have been running.
Vinny, man. My man.
Gotcha, bitch.
I wish you were more popular in that sense because to hell with Kamala, to hell with all them. We need somebody that loves his country. Piers, that's what he is. He's a patriot. He loves his country. And I'm wearing this shirt, Piers. VTmerch.com. I'm an angry patriot because we are sick and tired, Piers. I love this country. I served for this country, and I'll be damned if I'm going to let them take it away from us, Piers. Damned. Period.
Okay. Listen, just hold fire for the panel for just a few minutes. I'm going to talk now to Eric Prince. He's a former U.S. Navy SEAL and the founder of Blackwater USA, a private military company that provided security services during the Iraq War. Welcome to you, Eric Prince. First of all, as we're talking, the director of the Secret Service, Kim Cheadle, is testifying, obviously, up in Congress today. But she's apparently refusing to really answer most of the questions. She's admitted it was the worst failing operationally by the Secret Service in many decades. Are you surprised she's not resigned?
It's in keeping with the Biden administration that they don't expect accountability from any leader that fails doing what they're supposed to be doing. Look, she's hiding behind the FBI investigation. That's an easy way for her to duck and cover. This is the rope-a-dope approach in Washington where you show interest, then stall. She promises to get back to them with certain answers, and it's all just, it's a charade. If there is any honor to it, she would resign. If Congress had any power, they should at least defund her office so that she is not getting paid anymore because clearly she has failed under her leadership. It is shown to be complete incompetence from a security perspective, a security professional's perspective. There are so many horrific failings that nearly led to the assassination of Donald Trump. There were people that died because of that incompetence. When you look at the failure of advance to allow somebody to get set up 140 yards away from your protectee, down to even once the shots started, how long it took them to get Trump off the X. It is failure upon failure upon failure. And like I said in a Twitter post a week ago, it's either massive incompetence or malice. I'm still tilting towards massive incompetence. But again, this administration doesn't fire people for completely screwing up. It's in keeping with it. And I as your panel was talking, there is
arriving at the White House, basically calling Joe Biden the greatest president that's ever lived, etc. Let's take a look.
Our president, Joe Biden, wanted to be here
really,
today.
nigga?
He's feeling much better and recovering fast, and he looks forward to getting back on the road. And I wanted to say a few words about our president. Joe Biden's legacy of accomplishment over the past 3 years is unmatched in modern history. In one term, he has already, yes, you may clap.
Stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
In one term, he has already surpassed the legacy of most presidents who have served 2 terms.
Shut up, bitch!
Joe Biden wanted to be.
Well, I mean, as I think was said by Her Majesty the Queen
It is
after
low-key
Meghan Markle
laughable
spraying on the royal
like,
family on Oprah
goddamn,
Winfrey.
bro.
Recollections may vary about the record. Let me just go quickly to you, Farron Cousins. I mean, Kamala Harris there at the White House, effectively now looking like the de facto leader of the Democrats, therefore, sort of, I guess, the president, but not the president. Would it not be easier and better and probably a more aggressive and successful strategy if Joe Biden just stood aside now from being the current serving president and allowed Kamala to step into that role? Would it not give her more ballast running into a battle with Trump to be the actual president?
I definitely think it would, to be perfectly honest with you. I think if Biden were to come out and say, listen, okay, I'm actually done with everything, I'm out of here, and she becomes president, then she's going to get a couple months on the job training under her belt, which is definitely going to help. But at the same time, I think Joe Biden would obviously never do that. It took so much pushing just to get him out of the race at all. And of course, if he were to resign, the optics of that for the Democratic Party, that is basically Joe Biden admitting, I can't do this. I got to get out of here. And that is definitely something the Democrats do not want to happen.
To be honest, that's exactly what he's done. I mean, everyone knew he was desperate to carry on, but he's now thrown the towel in. And Emily Austin, I mean, the trouble is, the Democrats are going to get absolutely pounded now until Election Day. Every time Biden pops up and makes another mistake, another gaffe, every time he falls over, whatever it may be, it's all going to keep happening. We know that. He's not going to get any less senile just because he's decided to step.
God damn, man.
Damn. So it's officially like we can roast Biden for being an old fuck?
Hey, yo, Key. Pretty much saying that he about to take a jailhouse pounding. Yeah. The worst type of pounding you can give.
God damn.
The one in the cell.
Down. But every time he does, that will become a major story. That the man who's unfit to defend his presidency for another term is still president for another few months. I just don't think it's an act that can fly.
Yeah, it's not a good
I think it also makes Kamala Harris's position extremely awkward because there she is at the White House, sort of acting presidential.
I'll say the same
but the real
thing,
president hasn't been seen since he announced
the president on voice
bombshell yesterday. Hasn't been seen or heard. He didn't even say it in a national address. He said it on X, which is great for Elon Musk in terms of showing how relevant and important X is as a platform. But it's all very odd, isn't it?
It's bizarre and frightening, quite honestly, especially on a global stage, that we as a country have finally taken a step to acknowledge he's unfit to run for another election. But if we can acknowledge that, then how can we look past the fact that he's still our president? 5 months is a very long time away. Every 24 hours as an American feels like a year has passed given the climate right now. How can we just pretend that this is all not the biggest issue? Cenk earlier was saying not to panic, but we should panic a little bit because we are in a bad place right now, not just domestically, but internationally, and something has to be done. And I just want to give my final thoughts on 2 subjects I didn't get to interject on. I don't think it's crazy or I'm a conspiracy theorist, especially now just hearing Eric Prince speak, to think that this was a calculated assassination attempt on Donald Trump. It's not a conspiracy theory. There was so much negligence that you cannot simply say this was a mistake. The American people at that rally saw this shooter on the rooftop for 1 minute and 30 seconds, and nobody else saw it from the Secret Service. Come on, that's not negligence. That is maybe coordinated negligence. And then a second point that nobody seems to be bringing up is that I don't believe Donald Trump is as unpopular as people are making it seem. Rather, the American people have been so afraid to be honest about how they felt about him because of the bullying and the repercussions that you face as being a Republican these days. As a sports journalist, as a sports broadcaster, I've been told multiple times to keep my opinion.
You can't even be like a regular Republican. It's either you're a MAGA or nothing.
Right. And to myself, I've had colleagues whisper to me, you know, we love Trump, we're voting for him, but we can't say that. I've had African-American NBA players tell me they love Trump. I've had NFL players tell me they love Trump. But God forbid they bring that to the public, they get canceled. So he's not as an unpopular of a figure as people think. But everyone's afraid.
I completely agree with that. I just think a lot of people, I think people have found it easier since the assassination attempt to speak up in support of Trump and say they thought he was very ballsy, because he was. You know, to hear Mark Zuckerberg be so praiseworthy about him was an extraordinary.
All right, let's take a little pause for our sponsors, because are you looking to help the next generation understanding and engaging in the Bible? The Keystone Bible is the most complete graphic adaptation of the Bible ever done, and it is the perfect product for helping young adults read, dive and interact with the Bible. This graphic Bible helps young adults understand the historical timeline of the Bible, learn about both well-known and lesser-known characters, and Orthodox Christian teachings. Top comic artists from Keystone Comics have created a stunning 2,000 plus page graphic novel to capture the whole Bible from Genesis to Revelations. The entire Old Testament and New Testament is available either as a hardcover trilogy or in a 6 softcover volumes. With this Keystone Bible, young adults can read scripture from cover to cover and many times to retain the content longer than traditional text. Find this and more exciting products at KeystoneComics.com. Repeat that again for you, KeystoneComics.com, and get right with God.
Moment, because he would rather, ironically, have shot himself and say anything positive about Trump before. So I think that there's a real sea change in people's willingness to speak out. But Cenk, there's no doubt that Trump is a very divisive and polarizing character. He always has been. But right now, I reckon he's licking his lips. He's looking at the Democrats in complete disarray. He's seeing a woman who's pretending to be president because the real one's disappeared, having quit the race, but who's not the president. And like I said, we're going to keep seeing Biden when or if he ever reemerges. We're going to keep seeing him make mistakes and do embarrassing stuff, because that's what's been happening on a weekly, almost daily basis this whole year. And every time he does, it's going to be a massive headline. How can the man who said he was unfit to continue in this race be fit to lead the country? There's a real problem there, I think, in the optics.
Yeah, look, let's be honest. The administrative state runs things. So both for Republicans and Democrats. I think it's unconscionable that Joe Biden didn't fire the head of the Secret Service within 2 days.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you waiting for? She admitted it was the largest organizational failure in Secret Service history. So if you don't get fired for that, what do you get fired for? On the other hand, when you look at Trump's terms in office, he would say outlandish things to his staff.
I really think that's what it is. I promise you, it's just all on the fact that she's a woman. Oh shit! And they just don't want to fire a woman.
That's sad.
Nuclear weapons we have tenfold, which would basically bankrupt the country. So they would all look at each other, and as soon as they left the room, they'd say, of course we're not going to listen to what that idiot said, and they'd ignore his orders. That happened over and over again, because he doesn't know what he's doing. So the administrative state runs things for both Republicans and Democrats. So that's the reality. That's what's going to happen going forward with Biden. And you guys are overstating Trump. After the assassination attempt, there's this halo around him, and it's understandable. And I'm the first guy to say that Trump's actions that day was, quote, badass, right? But having said that, guys, that doesn't affect his policies. And Trump can't help himself. Trump's always going to be Trump. He's going to be back to saying crazy. In fact, he's already back to saying crazy things. And he's going to say it over and over again to remind the whole country how nuts he is.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why he may win.
For this man is crazy.
Play a clip. This is also from the rally on Saturday, where he talked about his severe comb over.
Got money over him or something, put him out of business.
Just interject, if you would turn off those cameras, because I don't want this. See the screen up there of me? That's very severe, that comb over. That's a severe sucker. What's with that one? It looks okay from the other side. But that is very severe. I apologize. Man, I looked up there. I said, whoa. Look at that. Wow. That's like a work of art.
Trump said I need a hair. Trump said I might need a hair transplant.
Now, here's the thing, Cenk. Whether you want to admit it or not, whether your little face is creaking into a little smile involuntarily, the truth about Trump, and I made this point in a column
the man
for the
got
Post,
character,
which,
bro.
he discussed with me on the phone.
Can't help but like
he's kind of the Mick Jagger of politics, and I'll tell you why. It's not to do with them womanizing, although that would be a fair analogy. Is that
because he get money and fuck hoes and he do his job right? It's like, yeah, Mick Jagger.
Actually to do with the fact, here these guys are. Jagger's 81, about to turn 82, I think. Trump's about 2 years younger than him. But what they really love doing, more than anything else, is going out in front of tens of thousands of people and putting on a show. Trump does the show of being a politician in America better than anyone else I've ever seen. Man. He can hold a crowd for 2 hours. And you may not like it, and Barron may not like it, and a lot of other people may not like it, and you may want to all continue to abuse him and call him a new Hitler, all that kind of stuff. But the reality is, there are millions of Americans, 80 million as of the last time they got a chance to vote for him, who do like him and find him very entertaining and very funny and very authentic and very unlike any other politician out there. And that is a problem for Democrats in how you try and take on a guy like that, because they're kind of done with hearing he's the world's most awful human being, because they think, well, he's not, is he? He's not as bad as Putin or President Xi or Kim Jong-un or any of these other real dictators.
It is kind of annoying.
He's not.
It's like,
and to keep saying being disingenuous, I think is extremely self-harming for the Democrats. All it does is make people who are not fanatically anti-Trump think, well, it's bullshit, isn't it? He's not.
Oh, shit! So, my smile wasn't... my smile was not involuntary. Anna and I on the Young Turks often say that Trump is one of the best insult comics in the business. He's very entertaining, and he's not honest, but he's authentic. There's a difference. So when he does that bit about the comb over, it feels authentic, and you relate to him and you empathize with him. I think he's really good at attracting those crowds and entertaining those crowds. And I don't think that that's a small talent when you're running for president and in politics overall. And I think the Democrats are too shy about picking someone who's interesting, who wants to be in the press, who wants the spotlight. So I get that Donald Trump, he's good at one thing, which is marketing. So I understand all those things. But nevertheless, the numbers do indicate that he's not popular, and for good reason, guys. You might think, hey, he's entertaining or he's authentic, but at the same time, he did try a coup attempt. He had a fake elector scheme, where and we just interviewed Rudy Giuliani on the Young Turks, and he said they didn't use the normal Trump electors because half of them said they wouldn't do it because it was obviously illegal and unconstitutional. So, he might make an entertaining comment about his comb over, but that doesn't excuse the fact that he tried a coup against America.
Okay. Vinny, your thoughts about Trump? I mean, look, Trump, he shouldn't be here. He was...
The insurrection. He started an insurrection. And police died and other people. I'm just like, bro... Trump. They know Trump ain't started that insurrection. That was just a bunch of angry protesters who felt like their vote was cheated.
Yeah, they did that on their own accord.
On God, it's like, is it possible that they could have just felt the same way? Like, I felt like I was played. But then again, let's be real. But then we're gonna be fair. If Trump would have never said, "Oh, this election was rigged," then they might have stepped down. Who knows?
Shot in a way that had it been a quarter of an inch closer to his head, he'd be dead. And we would be still talking about the assassination of Donald Trump, which would have been, as I think Eric Prince rightly said, a seismic and horrific moment for the country and the world. And the repercussions, I dread to think what they would have been. But he survived, and he showed enormous personal strength in that moment, strength that he may not have even known he had in him. You know, he was very candid about that when I spoke to him on the phone. And he feels like God was on his side. And for many millions of Americans, they will like that he believed that God was on his side in that moment. When you're defending him, winning against people that really hate him, what do you say about Trump that is the real kind of reason that he resonates to you, for example?
Well, besides Piers being a New Yorker and being, you know, just speaking it real, besides personality, is just the love for the country, Piers. It wasn't until 2016 when he said he wanted to run that the whole machine, the establishment, everybody turned on him. I've been around him. I've been around Barron. I've been around that culture. It's freaking all amazing. The happiest people, the most beautiful women. Look at Emily. I don't know what it is about conservative women. Gorgeous. Have you been to a Democratic gathering? Everybody's bitter and angry and just upset. Everybody's upset. And Piers,
conservative bitches do be in shape though.
That is true. That is true.
They do be well put together and in shape, so I ain't even gonna lie, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like a girl conservative, like political views kind of matters. If she's liberal, she kind of most likely don't believe in that
body positivity shit.
Yeah, you feel me? It's gonna be some liberal ideals that you kind of want to deal with. A conservative girl, you already know all that shit out the window.
Be in the gym, G.
Yeah,
you might meet her in the gym.
Yeah, you ain't got to worry about man with a Trump outfit on, with the MAGA hat.
I'm weak.
Like, man,
full blown Republican fit.
Oh God. But one thing though.
What's up?
She got that God-given American ass, goddamn it. But anyway, though.
Can't take my steak.
No, can't take my steak and my guns. But, okay, yeah, we're just going to call it a wrap right here, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. I think I'll run the next one. Don't worry about it. But don't worry, we'll be right back. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. S.E.T and Key Media timing out. We appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Peace.
Peace out. We out.